President Bongbong Marcos signs two laws that will boost government assistance to calamity-affected families and students. In a simple ceremony in the Malacanang Palace on Friday, December 6, Marcos signs the Ligtas Pinoy Centers Act and the Student Loan Payment Moratorium During Disasters and Emergencies Act. The Ligtas Pinoy Center Act mandates the creation of fully equipped evacuation centers that can provide safer temporary shelters to calamity-hit individuals and families.
We do not wish for the frequent usage of such facilities and can only pray that we have fewer calamities. But nonetheless, we need to ensure that the evacuation centers sufficiently respond to the needs of our people affected by calamities and other such emergencies.
Marcos adds that investing in climate-resilient facilities must be the norm, not only to protect people's lives, but to also capacitate local government units to respond, to reduce, and to manage the risks of disasters. Marcos assures the Department of Education that schools will soon be used solely for learning with the signing of the new law. On the other hand, the Student Loan Payment Moratorium During Disasters and Emergencies Act will halt student loan collections and suspend student loan penalties or interest during and after calamities.
The benevolence of this law allows the disaster-affected students and their families to have a breathing space as they recuperate and rebuild their lives. It is our hope that this law will help lessen the financial burden off of our students' shoulders as they continue their schooling.
The President then tasks the Commission on Higher Education and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority to provide comprehensive support to students and make sure that financial challenges do not prevent them from completing their education. Senate President Cheese Escudero says the newly signed Student Loan Payment Moratorium During Disasters and Emergencies Act is a timely intervention from the government as many areas nationwide are still reeling from the devastation of multiple typhoons. According to Escudero, the new law will help curb the cases of enrollees dropping out of school due to financial constraints. On Friday, December 6, President Bongbong Marcos enacted the Student Loan Payment Moratorium During Disasters and Emergencies Act, which offers breathing room to calamity-distressed students as it stops student loan collections and suspends student loan penalties or interest during and after disasters. In a statement, Escudero says the country is experiencing a higher frequency of weather disturbances that are more intense and destructive. He adds that in times of calamities, the country always sees the destruction caused in the aftermath and often misses other victims such as students who end up sacrificing their future because of the disasters. Under the law, payment for all fees, charges, and costs related to student loans for higher education, as well as technical vocational education and training programs, would be postponed if there is a state of calamity in the jurisdiction where the school or learning institution is located. The moratorium would include financial dues administered by the higher education institutions, technical vocational institutions, the Unified Student Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education Board, the Commission on Higher Education, and other government agencies or instrumentalities. The law also specifically notes that penalties or interest will not be applied to delayed student loan payments, as it encourages schools to set up favorable payment terms and other financial aid to calamity-affected students. However, Escudero clarifies that the law does not condone the loans but only freezes payment for up to 30 days after the state of calamity or emergency is lifted. Senator Dela Rosa says he was expecting the worst when it comes to the impeachment cases filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. In an online interview on Friday, December 6, Dela Rosa was asked about his reaction to the two impeachment cases lodged against the Vice President. Dela Rosa says he is expecting that there will be an impeachment of Duterte. Just this week, two impeachment complaints were filed by progressive groups Bagong Alyansa Makabayan and Akbayan against Duterte over betrayal of public trust. When asked if he thinks that impeachment complaint would be affirmed by the lower chamber, Dela Rosa answered in the affirmative, adding that he can't do anything about it since he is not President Bongbong Marcos who could send a text message to tell them to stop the impeachment efforts. The senator was alluding to Marcos's admission that he ordered House leaders not to make impeachment moves against Duterte. For his part, Dela Rosa says he will remain objective regarding Duterte's impeachment proceedings despite being her close ally. Dela Rosa further says to let the House do their job as members of the Senate will also do their role once the impeachment complaint reaches the floor. Filipino consumers need to tighten their belts starting January next year as electricity rates are expected to rise after the Energy Regulatory Commission allowed power generators to recover a total of 3.05 billion pesos. The agency announced its decision to approve the collection of the remaining 70% reserve trading amounts nearly 7 months after it had given its go signal for generators to regain a portion of the settlement amounting to 1.72 billion pesos. To recall, the Energy Regulatory Commission suspended the settlement of amounts in the reserve market last March due to the spike in reserve costs, triggering increases in power bills. For this fresh round of collection, a staggered payment over 3 months has been set for consumers in Luzon and Mindanao. Meanwhile, collection for those residing in the Visayas region would be stretched out to 6 months. According to the Energy Regulatory Commission, the rate impact will be 12 centavos per kilowatt-hour for Luzon and Visayas. Mindanao will see a lower rate impact of 3 centavos. The Energy Regulatory Commission said the decision came after the Independent Electricity Market Operation of the Philippines had submitted the recalculated amounts for the billing period of February and March 2024. Racal breaks her silence amid a cheating controversy involving on-screen partner Anthony Jennings as she expressed her remorse and admitted she made a mistake. In an interview with ABS-CBN on Friday, December 6, Racal apologizes to the public for everything she has done after admitting that she made a mistake. Racal explains that while she was lonely and was in a very dark place, she got the attention she needed from Jennings and was carried away with her emotions. Racal reveals that she told everything about her and Jennings to his ex-boyfriend, leading for them to part ways. Racal's admission came almost 2 days after Jennings' non-showbiz girlfriend, Jamela Villanueva, came out with screenshots of Racal and Jennings' intimate conversations on his phone. According to Racal, Jennings made her believe that he had ended his relationship with Villanueva when he started courting her. Racal explains that they began to know each other deeper when they went to Italy last September to shoot for their upcoming teleserye, Incognito. The actress further says that she feels truly shocked and embarrassed after her private conversations with Jennings were revealed to the public. Racal says she reached out to Villanueva last November but did not get any reply in return. She also apologizes to the people she had hurt, especially her supporters, but assures them that she will continue to do her work.